Good day or good evening, friends. It is Sir Slice here. A very unscripted video. This is a video I've wanted to make for a very, very long time about this game right here. Because, to be honest with you, I'm fed up. I'm fed up of this fucking game and this company from wasting your time. Dead by Daylight is a fucking waste of time. Let me tell you why, right? Let me tell you something. Now, before someone comes into the comments being like, oh, you're just a hater, you're just a hater, I want you to know, right, I have played this game for 3,000 hours. I have played it since All Kill, and I actually was first introduced to it all the way back when Curtain Call was the newest chapter. So I've been with this game for a while. Obviously, you know, 3,000 hours might not be the biggest amount, considering that, you know, people have like 10,000 and stuff like that, and you know, even to that, what am I saying? Even, you know, 3,000 is seen as like beginner levels, I suppose. Like 2,000 is beginner levels, but like, I don't know. I've been with this game for a while. Most of my friends have known me as like the DBD guy. Most of my friends, you know, I've been called like the DBD encyclopedia. If you're my friend, I have told you about this game, alright? I have told you about this game. Now, to cut to the chase, I'm fed up with their crap. I'm fed up with this company because, you know, I've been a fan for a very long time. It's now the 10-year anniversary, perhaps the peak of what this game has to offer. 10 years of a horror hall of fame, you know. It should be a remarkable moment. It should be an incredible moment for all of us. And instead, we're given this whole live stream that was supposedly 13 hours, but really it's that time. Supposedly 13 hours of this, just to reveal Jason. Now, don't get me wrong, alright? I know what people are going to say. Oh, you're complaining about Jason? Oh, you're complaining about Dead by Daylight? Oh, how dare you? How dare you complain about Dead by Daylight? No, actually, because let me tell you something. Jason is a fucking perfect fit for this game. For a 10th anniversary, I could not have picked a better killer, right? I'm like, you know, people said Slenderman and Pennywise and stuff like that. I think Jason is the most perfect fit for this game. He is the character that inspired the poster boy, you know, Trapper. He is, you know, just a huge influence on slasher horror in general, which obviously has a major inspiration throughout basically all of Dead by Daylight. Jason is the perfect character. And overall, I will say, the idea of this live stream and this whole series of events, I don't know, I can't find the post. The whole series of events surrounding this shack has been incredible. Like, the idea of it, right? The idea of this thing is awesome, because you've got this huge build-up, right? You've got this huge mysterious build-up, 10-year anniversary, nothing's been leaked, which is surprising, but, you know, welcome change. Nothing's been leaked, it is a big deal, everyone's stoked for it, until you get to how this was executed. First off, 11 hours of what's essentially just a cabin kind of blows, because, right, let me show you something, right? Let me show you something. Watch this, right? Watch this. You see? Tune in, stop peeking, you don't want to miss this. May 22nd, you don't want to miss this. Tune in at tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, you know, May 22nd, 9 PM Eastern Time. This time, right, is a lot later than what Dead by Daylight usually streams at. Usually, I don't know what it is in Eastern Time, but, you know, I'm in the UK. In the UK, they usually do live streams around 5 PM to 6 PM. Like that's usually when it starts, and it usually lasts an hour. So let's say 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. right? You know what 9 p.m. is Eastern time in the UK? I am doing this on the top of my head, so I might be wrong. 2 a.m. 2 a.m. for us in the UK. So I stayed up at 2 a.m. right? Keep in mind, I'm an insomniac, alright? I have been trying to fix my sleep schedule for quite some time, and I was making strides to it, but I saw that this thing was coming up, and I was like, do you know what? I'll stay up for this, because this might be an exciting update. I mean, look, stop peeking. Tune in, May 22nd, 9 p.m. Eastern time, you know, all that. It is exciting. You want to be part of it. 10th anniversary, guys. 10th anniversary. You want to be part of that. Of course you want to be part of that as it happens. 11 hours of this is fucking excusable. Or should I say 12 hours, because it's, you know, almost, it's getting closer to 12 than 11. It is inexcusable. Because here's the thing, right? I gave them the benefit of the doubt. Because I know live streams usually do have like a little 1 hour to half an hour buffer between things starting and, you know, when the actual content of it goes. So I was like, okay, well, I can wait. You know, they're doing a picture of a shack, but I can wait. So I'll wait till 3. So, you know, then something might happen. But then nothing happened. I went on to a different stream, you know, doing the same thing just to sort of see their perspective and all that. And I was like, well, I'll stick around and see what they think. Because maybe it was like some sort of big, ultra big reveal and they want to do like a big live show of it. So I was like, okay, I'll wait for another hour. So that's 2 hours. Nothing happened. This time right here, 0000, which is midnight. So I assumed, okay, well, if this was meant to be 9 p.m. Eastern time, then surely what this means is that it's talking about midnight Eastern time. Okay, so I stay up till midnight. It is now 5 a.m. for me. I go on this, right? I go on this. It's just the same thing. It's just the same thing. You can see I disliked it out of spite. It's just the same thing. I wasted 3 hours of my sleep, of my life, doing this crap. Now you could be like, well, you didn't have to be there. You could have just went to sleep, seen it tomorrow. First of all, I want to be part of this, thank you very much. When there's an announcement and we're not told shit about it, and they tell us specifically to, you don't want to miss this, you don't want to miss this, guys, tune in, May 22nd, you want to be part of this, guys, you gotta see this, look, you want to tune in, you want to pay attention, you might miss something. When you're advertising it like that, and then you wait all this time, alienating a big part of your international audience. Because another argument I heard is that, well, you know, if you're European, you know, not everything revolves around Europe. When, you know, I hope you know this, the reason streams usually start the way, the time they usually do, is because it's when most of the audience is awake. You know, people in Europe are likely done with their jobs, and probably in Africa as well, you know, done with their jobs. People in the US are probably, I don't know, maybe at work, having some sort of lunch break, or whatever, you know, so people can tune in that way, you know. Most audiences around the world can tune in on the time they usually do their live streams. Obviously, I can't check when they do the live streams right now, but trust me, they do it around 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. UK time, which I assume would be like 12 p.m. in US and Canada, because, you know, Canadian company. So it makes sense. Why on earth would you do it at 9? So late at night for them, which for us is even later, alienating a big part of your international audience for a reveal that could have easily been 13 minutes. This whole thing could have been 13 minutes. but they stretched it and dragged it out for what they intended was to be 13 hours. Why? What did this do? And then look, throughout the whole thing, they were dropping teasers as well, which, you know, I will say I do appreciate the fact that, you know, they're trying to spice it up. But look at this. Watch. We know that the new killer is Jason. We don't know if he's coming with a map or a survivor. Probably not survivor because it wasn't mentioned, but a map is maybe possible. But yeah, you see this? It's found footage. It's you know, perspective of a cell phone. You know, taking cameras, taking pictures. Look at this. Look at this. This. I don't know about you. This is tone deaf to me. It might seem like I'm nitpicking. I kind of am, but like, look at this and tell me. Do you associate this with Jason? Like, if you had no context on this image, would you say that's Jason? I wouldn't. I'd say that's Slender Man. Which, to be fair, you know, adds a bit more onto the intrigue of this whole thing. And so, you know, it's interesting. And again, the whole thing with this being so long, a lot of people are saying, well, it's genius because it gets people talking, it gets people riled up, it gets, you know, attention put on this. And I understand that, alright? I understand it is a marketing tactic done to build hype. But as I said, when you're alienating so much of your audience for what could very well be a single licensed killer for a game that is an unbalanced, buggy, just entitled community, you know, just... The reason I'm making this video is because I've been through their shit, you know. I've been done with this game. I have played it for so long. I have seen it go through so many bad parts of its life. Right now, I don't know if I would call it the worst time of its life, but it certainly fucking feels like it. You go on social media, I don't have any examples right now. You go on social media, you have people saying like, oh, palette density is really bad. Oh yeah, fun fact actually, hold on, let me fucking find it actually, bear with me, let me find it. Look, right here, this user posted their response to palette density, a feature which has been maligned by basically the whole of the dedicated community for this game for being pretty fucking one-sided, pretty biased, pretty unfair. Currently there are no plans to look at palette density. Palette density was last changed in 9.3.2 to address the rest of feedback and find a middle ground between killers and survivors after the original palette density changes. What is currently happening, was currently in the game, is the current palette density, weird statement, but okay, and they are behaving as expected. Whilst the team doesn't have any specific plans to share, the team is always open to feedback and we want to iron out any bugs. Specific screenshot areas. You know, they're saying that the palette density update, it's all good. It's all good. It's all well and good. It is working exactly as it is. Okay, what's this then? Looks a bit suspicious. I thought the average kill rate for this game was meant to be 60%. Why is the top rated killer in kill rate below that? Let's find the average, yeah? Let's find the average. 48.35%. That is the average kill rate in this game. Now, to be fair, they did make a post. It's probably a while back. I'm not going to bother finding it. They made a post being like, you know, here's our kill rates, you know, and it was listed as a lot of the top tier killers, or not top tier, a lot of the killers with the highest kill rate were around at 60%. But here's the thing, right? That's 60%, and probably like 70% for some of them. I think Krasu had like a huge kill rate when they showed it off. The thing is with that, is that Nightlight is commonly used by people who, well, obviously people that know about it, but dedicated players. Players that want to keep track of their stats, that want to actually engage with the fervor besides, you know, just casually hopping in and doing all that, you know, just some quick games and all that. Nightlight is for the players. Like, this is a passion project. Essentially, this is just one big passion project made by the fans for fans to use. So casual players, you know, a large percentage and probably a majority of the player base, don't use this. So what happens is when you justify that kill rate being like, well, the casuals, the game is fair for the casuals. But then when you get into, like, you know, stuff like this, these are experienced players playing this game, and they are struggling. They are obviously struggling. Of course, Freddy is like the one I'm focusing on. Might not be the best example because he's the highest one, but even then, that should not be below the quote-unquote average kill rate. The one that they intend to reach. This is below average. Like, the average, the bar, the behavior set themselves. This is underperforming. And he's currently the highest rated in the game. At least according to Nightlight. And so, that's concerning, because it clearly shows that the game is clearly balanced for the lowest common denominator. But when you take the game up, when you take the game for people who are more experienced, more invested, more, you know, obviously people that have spent more time and money playing it, they get fucked over. They get fucked over by the game, and survivors get access to more and more and more and more powerful perks, combos. You know, the heal meta has been completely destroying a lot of killers and stuff like that. They have been steamrolling. A competent survivor group will utterly steamroll you. Even if you're, well, okay, maybe not the best example because Nurse is, you know, kind of broken. But even if you're like playing, if you're like a main of one of the best killers in the game, let's say you're a spirit main, or you know, even Blight. Blight got nerfed in this patch. Let's say you're a Blight main, you're probably gonna get at least a little frustrated and a little, you know, you're gonna have some pretty fierce resistance when it comes to actually playing the game. And so, this is proof to me that they're focusing on the majority, which again is understandable, or not again, but you know, it's understandable because the game needs to survive. And even though we do say that Behaviour is, you know, this big multi-million-dollar company, and it is, I'm not going to deny it's not. These guys are not Blizzard. You know, these guys are not Blizzard. They're not NetEase. They're not Activision. You know, whatever. These guys, people say Dead by Daylight has no competition. Not true. These guys are competing with Marvel rivals, Overwatch. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know any other proper examples. But these guys are competing with some of the big dogs, some of the biggest giants in gaming. Fortnite. This is the competition they have. They are facing an uphill battle. Sorry if I'm like sporadic all over the place. I'm just really energetic about this. They're facing an uphill battle, and so, you know, I don't fucking know what the original point I was making was. But yeah, this shit is not okay. And you can say, oh, you're just a whiny killer main. Go on YouTube, look at any experienced content creator's channel. I can guarantee you, they fucking hate palette density. Because it ruins the game. It does not, doesn't incentivize you to get better at the game. It just gives you tools, gives you access to free palettes, and just like, yeah, pre-drop them, pre-drop them, pre-drop them, pre-drop them, don't play the game, just pre-drop them. And so, you know, alongside the very strong perks, you know, perks, yeah, very strong perks, Windows Life, you know, this meta has been just rampant, absolutely rampant. Most seen survivor builds. Interesting. How interesting that this is the most survivor focused build right now. I wonder why. Almost as if this perk got changed for absolutely no reason in the all kill comeback chapter. It got
turbo buffed exclusively to match the vibes of the chapter. That's it. That's the only reason why this became as strong, and now it's a problem to the entire player base. Oh, but the escape rate is fairly low. Escape rate's fairly low. You know why? Because most of the Survivor player base are bad at the game. And to be fair, probably so is a lot of the killer player base, right? It's casuals. This is casuals, and you know, again, I don't want to be an asshole to casual players and be like, you know, you're not allowed to have fun. You're not allowed to have fun. But what I am saying is that I want this game. It seems that they have heard people's feedback and been like, oh, you want a party-focused game? Alright, we'll give you a party-focused game. We'll give you tools that are meant to have fun and whimsy for this game. But I think they have, like, went turbo on it. They have done it way too much. Right? They have turbo buffed everything. If you don't understand what I'm saying, I would recommend you watch Cover Cover. Great channel that goes into this sort of thing about how the game is very clearly balanced around the casual player base and the survivor player base being the majority. It is balanced around the casual survivors. Great channel, couldn't recommend any more. You know, probably a lot more respectful than I ever would be about this sort of topic. But this, on top of the buggy mess of the game, the unbalanced state of the game that seemingly is not being looked at whatsoever, right? Alongside this trailer, which was 11, you know, let's just say 13 hours long. It was 13 hours long. It was done at a horrible time. It was announced for some reason. We were all told to tune in for this. Show up, guys. You want to see this. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. You want to see this, right? You want to see this. You want to see this. They tell you to show up. Show up at a time when they fucking know that most of their audience is asleep, or wants to sleep, or just wants to get over with it. All this shit on top of, you know, as I said, buggy game, unbalanced game, and a casual player base that will scream and throw utter vitriol at you for just wanting to play the game like a PvP game. You know, these are not issues exclusive to Dead by Daylight. But what I am saying is that they compound into a big fucking mess, and I've had enough. I'm not making any more content on this fucking game. I have no patience for it anymore. And if you are like me, a disgruntled fan of the game that spent hours of your time, lots of money on it, and you feel like the game's currently not serving your best interest, I implore you, leave the game. Stop playing Dead by Daylight. This game is designed to waste your time. It is designed exclusively to feed in the casual players, entice them with shiny new characters, shiny new licenses, but then they'll throw away what made the original foundation of the game so good. They'll throw away all the original content. They'll ignore it. They'll ignore it completely. They'll fucking, you know, I know this sounds unprofessional. I know I might sound ridiculous for doing all this, but this comes from a place of passion. I used to love this game. I used to recommend this game to everyone, but now I look at it and I just can't help but feel like, why is sound playing now? Was it always playing? I don't know. I just can't help but feel so utterly infuriated at the state of this game. And you know the best part? You know the best part of an unbalanced, buggy nightmare that festers a community of entitled children that will scream at you for trying to win against your opponent in a PvP game? Is that it doesn't matter. It does not matter. This chapter's going to do well regardless. Which is why I implore you to stop playing the game. If you care about this game, if you want it to succeed, you cannot be part of the problem. You're giving it attention. You're giving it spotlight. They say, vote with your wallet. Oh, but when it comes to something I actually like, I don't really want to vote with my wallet anymore. No. Of course, it's different if you're a content creator. You know, it's different if you actually do enjoy the game. But if you are genuinely dissatisfied with the state of this game, which I know many of you are, and you continue to play it, you're not helping. You know, you're not helping this situation. You're actively contributing to the game being in the state it is in. Maybe I'm on to nothing, but it's how I genuinely feel, and that's how I've genuinely felt for so long. It's probably my laziest video I've ever done, because it's literally just me talking and over some, you know, shit on screen. By the way, you might be asking why I have Eric Pope up here. Well, let me tell you why. I'm old enough to remember getting threats for not marketing a chapter reveal. Oh, how dare this to me? Listen, I love Eric Pope. He's a good guy. I know he's a good guy, right? I know that at the end of the day, he just wants to make an entertaining community. I don't know. He's a community manager, so you know he just wants to bring some life to the community. He is a good guy. I have no vitriol against him. That being said, dude, this is not the problem. Okay, maybe some people don't like the way that this was handled with them, where they're just like, why did you do this in the first place? The idea of this is great. The problem is you guys specifically went out of your way to upload it at a time that is inconvenient to a big chunk of your international audience. A reveal that was hours in the making. A time, several times actually, that are misleading, right? Because we were first told it was 9 PM, then it was, you know, midnight, and then nothing happened on either of those times. You dragged this out to 13 hours just to reveal, oh look guys, look at our new shiny license. Are you fucking kidding me? People will defend this shit. That's the thing that pisses me off about this the most, is that people look at you and be like, oh, you just hate fun and whimsy. Where is your fun? Where is your whimsy? I have standards. Okay? I have standards. This shit... Why am I on shorts? This shit is inexcusable. When you have a game that is in such a state, it doesn't matter if you add Jason, it doesn't matter if you add Pennywise, it doesn't fucking matter who you add to the game, because at the end of the day, you're still playing Dead by Daylight. You're still playing an unbalanced, buggy mess with an entitled fucking community. I'm sick of it. And so saying, well, you guys asked for this, you guys threatened us into this. How dare you say, you know, that you don't like this? Yes, because you basically just did a big slap in the face to your international audience that is dedicated to your game. Fuck you. Fuck you, Dead by Daylight, and fuck you, behaviour. I fucking despise you guys. You have an amazing game. This game has brought a lot of memories, a lot of joy to me, and, you know, even as angry as I am, I love this game. I've met people from it, I've introduced people to it. This game means the world to me. But you guys, the direction you're taking this game in is fucking sickening, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being bent over backwards by this fucking game and the fucking community being like, oh, you're not allowed to criticize it. Toxic positivity, guys. Toxic fucking positivity. This game is not in a good state right now, and if you think otherwise, you are either casual, new, or you're fucking delusional. Just like you, Taffy, I'm so sick of this fucking company. Dead by Daylight is designed to waste your time and money, so don't let it. If you're sick of this game like I am, just let go. You can do it my way, you know, ranting about the internet, or you can walk away quietly, whatever works for you. I've wanted to make this video for a while, but you know, I thought that maybe I don't want to, because, you know, this game might bounce back. You know, they did do the diminishing returns update, which You know, it was kind of them being like, look guys, we're listening to you, you know. Blight got buffed, the new all-kill comeback showed big promise, and even if you think it kind of underdelivered, like, I'll be honest, I kind of like the Trickster rework. I think it set out what it meant to do, and it did it in a pretty good way, even if, you know, you argue if whether or not it's made Trickster stronger. I think it was a good thing. This game has so much passion, so much love put into it. I mean, look at this banner. Look at this banner. I'm 90% sure this is like a community, like, collaboration banner that Behaviour themselves got together to make stuff like this. It's incredible. This game, from an artistic direction, is incredible. The idea of this is incredible. The reveal of Jason is incredible. This game has so much potential behind it, but it's being sold away for the sake of profit, for the sake of keeping you invested, for the sake of jingling keys right in front of your very eyes, so you're placated by it, failing to realize that this game, no matter how good the trailers look, no matter how passionate the community is, you're still playing Dead by Daylight. A game which does not care about you. And likely never will. Unless Behaviour makes a big turnaround, unless they do huge changes, I'm done with this game. I don't want to fucking see it. And again, it breaks my heart, but I've lost patience. I don't have any fucking patience for these guys anymore. And this entire live stream was the final straw. You might think I'm exaggerating. Fucking say so in the comments. I don't care what you say. At the end of the day, I'm just one man, frustrated, seeing the game I loved be turned into corporate slop for the sake of the casuals. And again, it sounds so entitled, but I don't fucking care. Again, if you think I'm bullshitting, watch Kovo Kava, watch Mr. Headache. You know, they bring up such great points that clearly hammer home the idea that this game is not designed to, you know, cater to you. This is not a game for you to be invested in. It is a game for you to check in, clock in whenever you see, oh look guys, it's Jason, oh look, it's my next favourite license slop. I don't want to say Jason's license slop, because again, he is the coolest fucking character they could have ever picked for the anniversary. Also, by the way, if you think Slenderman was not a good pick, you're weird. Slenderman was a very good candidate for this, I think, as well. But Jason was probably the better one. I think he is the better one. So yeah, again, I got no problem with Jason himself. It's just the fact that it doesn't matter how much fucking ranting and raving I do, and how much I see the game I love be turned to slop. It will not change anything. And thus, I made this video as like a final goodbye to this game. If I'm ever going to upload on this channel again, it's going to be about games I actually fucking give a shit about. Thank you for watching. You know, you can take this as you will. But I'm just done with it, man. I've had enough of this game. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. If you want to keep playing this game, keep playing this game. It's not really free will if I tell you to do something, is it? It's just I heavily advise you, if you care about the state of this game, just stop. Stop showing up, because you're giving them exactly what they want. Have a good day or night. Take care, and I don't know. I'll be honest, I'm fucking scared to post this video because I know there's going to be a bunch of people being like, you're just exaggerating, whatever. I don't care. I'm just one individual on the internet frustrated about a company destroy a game that I used to love. Bye bye.